everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into Family Guy Season 2, Episode 12, titled 15 Minutes of Shame. This episode is all about Meg, who finally snaps after being constantly embarrassed and ignored by her family. The story starts with Meg throwing a slumber party for her birthday. She's excited to have friends over and hopes everything will go smoothly. But of course, the Griffins ruin it. Peter acts silly and loud. Chris is weird and awkward. Lois doesn't help at all, and Stewie runs around causing chaos. The guests are shocked by how dysfunctional the Griffins are, and Meg's party is completely ruined. Humiliated, Meg decides she's had enough of being treated badly. She secretly signs her family up to appear on Diane Simmons' daytime talk show, planning to use the show as a way to call out her parents for constantly embarrassing her. When the Griffins appear on the show, Diane pushes the family into airing out their dirty laundry. Meg talks about how Peter and Lois are careless parents, how Chris is clueless, and how Stewie gets away with everything. The audience loves the drama, and the TV producers see potential for more. They quickly come up with the idea of making a reality TV show about the Griffins' everyday lives. At first, Meg thinks this might finally give her some attention, but Peter happily signs the contract without reading the fine print. Soon, cameras are everywhere in the house capturing the Griffins at their worst. The show becomes a big hit, but instead of being admired, the Griffins are mocked and laughed at. The audience sees them as a train wreck, and Meg realizes this isn't the kind of attention she wanted. Things get worse when the network decides Meg isn't interesting enough for TV. They fire her from her own family's show and replace her with a more glamorous teenage actress who they think will boost ratings. Meg is devastated. She wanted to stand up for herself, but instead she's been pushed aside. For a while, she even leaves the house and tries staying with Cleveland, hoping for support, but life outside doesn't go any better. This makes her realize that, as embarrassing as her family is, she still wants to be with them. Meanwhile, the rest of the Griffins start to see how wrong it is that Meg has been cut out. They try to convince the producers to bring her back, but the network refuses, saying the fake TV Meg is more popular. Eventually, things spiral out of control when the network even replaces the whole family with actors Peter and Lois are replaced by elderly actors, Chris is replaced with a random guy from a movie, and Stewie and Brian are played by the Olsen twins. The real Griffins are kicked out and aren't even allowed to use their last name anymore because the network owns it. They end up living in a cheap motel, stuck under contract and unable to fight back. In the end, Meg realizes fame isn't worth losing her family. Even though they embarrass her, they are still her family, and she'd rather deal with their flaws than be without them. The Griffins also realize how badly they treated Meg and how much she matters. The episode closes with the family back together, wiser from the experience, and with a clear message. Chasing fame and attention can tear a family apart, but love and togetherness are what really matter. So that's the story of 15 Minutes of Shame. It's one of the first episodes that really puts Meg in the spotlight and shows how tough her life is as the ignored Griffin kid. It's also a funny take on reality TV culture, making fun of how networks exploit families for entertainment. What did you think? Was the best part Meg's ruined slumber party, her attempt to get revenge on her parents, or the ridiculous replacements the network used for the Griffins? Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this breakdown. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Family Guy episode recaps. Next up is episode 13, Road to Rhode Island, which is a big one for Stewie and Brian, so stay tuned.